art of wrestling with professional wrestler Colt Cabana.
All right, how you guys doing? Come on in, sit down, relax. You're about to listen to The Art of Wrestling, a professional wrestling podcast. It's a live podcast. It's a personal journalist, an entryway into the minds, the souls, the hearts, and the lives of the people involved in the world of professional wrestling. I am your host. My name is Colt Cabana. I am a festival goer. I am a podcast doer. I am a comedian of some sorts. Most importantly, though, I am a professional wrestler, and I am coming to you live from my studio apartment in Chicago, Illinois. Before we go any further, this is a fan supported and listener supported podcast supported by people just like you. We give it to you free charge every single Thursday. ColtCabana.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcast from. A couple great ways that you can support, rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. Tell a friend, tweet it out, Facebook it out, Snapchat it out with a filter. Have a little dog ear going with you and show your friend in dog ears or fairy girl that you like this podcast. Best way that you could support, though, ColtMerch.com, DigitalColt.com, t-shirts, buttons, pictures, posters, DVDs, digital downloads, premium podcasts, and much more. ColtMerch.com, DigitalColt.com. So this is the first of two parts of a Edinburgh preview podcast where every single year my friend Brendan Burns and I go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival August 4th through the 27th, 10:20 p.m. at the Heroes at the Monkey Barrel venue, and we watch bad wrestling and we do funny jokes and we invite people. But the show itself, and given credit, don't think not given credit, and the man sitting next to me must feel like a real whore. He's just been whored out. Is Marty and I started doing this show, I guess, as $5 wrestling at the original WrestleManias. And here to kick off this preview is my friend Marty DeRosa.
Hey, bud.
Who was very quiet and very kind the whole time.
I was just letting you do your thing.
What was the first time? Is the first time that we ever did this show? Was it when I booked the building in Atlanta?
Yes.
And that real weird, which is probably super urbanized hipster place now.
Yeah.
Right?
We got in right when the gentrification started. It was weird. And this was when, this was before there was 8 million shows WrestleMania weekend.
It really was.
It was like, it's funny watching now, and it makes me feel like, back in my day, there was like, we were the midnight show. It was like Hall of Fame, then people came to us. Now there's like 8 million things.
Even the next year, because the next year we did it with, we got together with WrestleCon and with High Spots, and we did that show, the one where New Jack came and did commentary. Was that the next year or 2 years after?
At the hotel, and like Gary was dressed up like Macho Fatness. Freight Train came in Miami. That was jam packed. It was like I watched like these documentaries about like, and that was the heyday. Then Napster came out and killed the music business. Yeah. I feel like that was like, we were cashing big checks, and then all of a sudden. But I mean, it shows like with WrestleCon everything, how everything is just gigantic, and like any company out there is like, we're gonna go to New Orleans next year for Mania, and it's like, okay,
the New Movement Theater, because next year in New Orleans they offered me a spot, and they were like, do you want to, let's do something, and I was just thinking like, I don't know if it's a draw anymore. Like, we're fighting against everybody
and new people now, and big names now. It's like, it's like back in the day we're doing like, hey, $5 wrestling, or like Marty and Colt watch bad wrestling, and now it's like, Goldberg and JR watch bad wrestling. It's like, God damn it, man, let us have our thing. Right? But that's the deal. And I mean, it's the same thing everywhere, where something huge is like, South by Southwest used to be this little cozy thing, and now it's like there's business and there's this and everybody's there. So but it's cool to be OG.
We're
like
the South by Southwest of
we
wrestling.
are. We were the first, or one of the first. But it was, I still remember those shows as some of the most fun shows we've ever had.
And then, of course, Brendan started coming to Chicago a little bit, and he wanted to do a late night show. And the Fringe is something I'd always wanted to do and be a part of. And he asked your permission and my permission.
You have to get my permission. I like that. That's fun.
Well, it just. If I can do the show with him out there. And so this is it. I'm going to be in Scotland. I hope people listening to this maybe enjoy this podcast, enjoy the one I'm going to do with Brendan, and then maybe come out and see a show if you live out there in Europe. People travel from Europe to go to this show, and Marty's been invited every year, but it's just not easy to pick everything up and go.
Look, I'm running an empire. I'm running a podcast comedy wrestling empire here out of Chicago, so it's hard to just pick up.
So we are doing the show in America, and we're going to get to the clips in a second, and I'll explain. So the live show is very, we're watching it. It's visual. So we're going to do this show here in this apartment. It's going to be audio based. So that's going to be the difference between listening to this show and watching the show in a venue. Of course, we are going to do the live show in Boise, Idaho as part of the 208 Comedy Festival. My first time in Idaho.
My first time.
Yeah. It's at Friday night, September 8th at 10:20 p.m., I think. It's a night show. And I'm super excited. It's a huge comedy festival. We've been invited. And we'd like to say that this is the first of many, I hope.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But this is a great show. If anyone's a wrestling fan or non-wrestling fans, you can bring your non-wrestling fan friends. I think it's almost even more fun when there are people who are just like, this actually happened? And you're like, oh, yeah, this actually happened.
So speaking of non-wrestling fans, we can get to this first clip. Should I set it up or should we play it? All right. Well, and part of this, Marty, of course, we'll talk and explain as this goes through. But here's the start of I'm going to say a non-wrestling fan becoming a wrestling fan. Okay. This is the equivalent of, I'm going to say, Topanga being like, I'm into wrestling now.
Okay.
Right.
She goes out to PWG and all of a sudden she's like, this is great.
Yeah.
Okay. You look wonderful. These are known as the Fabulous Ones, and they are a tag team, and our show today deals in professional wrestling. I also already got off to a bad start.
Okay, so that's Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yes, it is. Who was huge back then.
Yeah,
she was gigantic,
and she's super into it, and that's what I like. Because these shows back in the day, I feel like all the wrestling was always, it was on Donahue. Did Ricky Lake ever have wrestlers?
Well, personally, or
we know a story that we can
personally or on the show. I can't think. Jerry Springer had Razor Ramon on.
Did he?
Did a Make-A-Wish type of thing for a kid.
Madman Pondo, but he wasn't known as a wrestler.
Right. And I got to think. Donahue was all in. I got to imagine Oprah.
Josh Prohibition and M-Dog said they were on Jenny Jones.
There you go. I would like to think you made fun of me back in high school, and now look at me and like Josh Prohibition busts through a picture of himself or whatever
and jumps into the audience.
But these guys, when they would show up on these talk shows, this was the era of like larger than life. Like you had to look different.
Well, and describe them for us right now.
Okay, so this is one when I show Sarah from my podcast. She's a new wrestling fan, so I love showing her old stuff. And when I showed her the Fabulous Ones and some of their music videos from their,
which I could have easily played that clip on here too.
You just picture like a good 80s song, like Sharp Dressed Man or something like that. And these two, I don't know why or who did this first. But it became the style of blonde hair, brown beard. That was like staple of, and I think it's so cool.
That should be a song. Blonde hair, brown beard.
I just imagine like you're in wrestling, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hold on, kid, there's one more thing," and then like a jump cut to like beauty shop, and like he's got the thing on his head, and then it comes out and there's this beautiful flowing head of blonde hair, and they're like, "Now you're a wrestler." So the Fabulous Ones are like the kings of it, and no shirt. I remember too, like the action figures being like, "What are these guys?" Like the old Remcos. So you've got blonde hair, brown beards, and they wear like the tuxedo coat with the tails, a bow tie, no shirt, of course. And Sally is just right in between them, and she's just like, you can't tell me she sees, especially Stan Lane, and she's just like, I'd hit it.
Oh, right?
I'd hit it real hard.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess you think Stan Lane's better looking than Steve Kern?
On.
Really?
Come on. Are you kidding me?
It's only because Steve Kern is skinner later in the years.
Trust. Stan Lane is
an Adonis?
Dude, I'm saying right now,
all right.
Stan Lane just kills it right now.
All right, let's see their performance.
Can I ask you to take off your jackets just for a moment? They look real nice.
And they did it without even a flinch.
No, not at all.
Anything else?
No, you're in real good shape, I'll say that. I would assume that you guys have to diet and exercise like anything, don't you, to do
definitely
this?
We are athletes, so we have to.
She just gave Steve Kern the most blatant elevator eyes ever. she's just going whoop, whoop, up and down, checking out the merch.
And those glasses, maybe it's because she has... because Sally Jesse Raphael is known for those big giant red glasses.
Trademark, yeah.
Maybe she has bifocals, so that's why she had no look.
She's got that little thing down at the bottom. Now I really see what he's working with.
Don't you,
most
to do
definitely
this?
we are athletes, so we have to watch our diet, and We try to appeal to the women, so most definitely watch the diet.
Tries to appeal to the women because, okay, here's the thing that known about these teams. These back in the day, do you know the nickname for these teams?
Yes, but I don't want to say it wrong. It's something like
blowjobs.
That's it. Okay,
blowjob teams.
Yeah. I heard dick sucking teams.
Yeah, they were the blowjob teams because they were the babes and they were getting BJs after the show and they were pulling in the wrestling fans. Like they were there to bring hot babes to the show, and so dudes will come to the show because hot babes are at the show. And from this appearance, I mean, that was just at the show. This is on national television now. Imagine the amount of teams that will be coming.
That's right. The thing is that wrestlers now have all kinds of groupies.
Did we catch that?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're talking about groupies on Sally Jesse.
Tell me about the groupies. Everyone wants to know.
We don't really call them groupies, Sally. We call them gropies because they tend to kind of grab you a little bit as you're going through the crowd. So you might kind of walk out like this.
So Stan Lane says they call them gropies, and then this is where it's a little hard on here. He's showing Sally how he walks out, and he's covering his eyes with his right arm,
kind of dabbing of sorts.
Yeah, and grabbing his dick with his left.
Yeah, because you know those vicious fans. They either go for a face to kiss, or they grab the junk. I remember too watching like World Class, and the girls would come out and they'd kiss them, and I never thought to like look to be like, are you grabbing or something there? But I mean, you know.
All right, speaking of World Class, Marty, I'm going to give you an option here.
Ooh, I love options.
Global Wrestling Federation was a promotion that we would watch. It was on ESPN after school for me. Okay, now Bonnie...
Me too. I wasn't homeschooled. You made it sound very weird. Like,
well, I was.
I didn't go to school. I dropped out in 5th grade.
Bonnie Blackstone was their announcer, or
Renee Young. She was the Renee Young.
Right, was the original Renee Young, and she would do this thing where you could send in letters, and so I've kind of chopped it up. And here's a game I'm going to play with you, and because World Class was on one of them, that's why that statement comes to mind. Would you like to hear letters that were statements, or would you like to hear letters that were questions? Now, being the improviser and comedian that you are, if they're questions, you have to answer the questions because I've taken out the answers.
For sure.
Or if they're statements, you have to elaborate on the statement in the voice of that person.
Statement, please.
You want to go with the statement?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So these were letters written in to Bonnie Blackstone and from people all over the world. And then we'll pause it right after, and then you can just elaborate.
Because, I mean, this was the Global Wrestling Federation, so clearly this can be from all over the world.
From anything.
And not fake at all.
Yeah. Okay. Also, when written on here, there's a lot of like ... So you have to listen to her so you can listen to the whole letter.
Okay.
And in closing, these words of wisdom from Gerald L. of Birmingham, Alabama, watching WTTO, Channel 21. All foreign objects should be outlawed. The use of whips, brass knuckles, green spew, chains, handcuffs, and the like certainly detract the credibility of wrestling. Their use is just dumb. Come on, guys, clean up your act, and let's get back to wrestling.
Gerald from Alabama, you don't like foreign objects, huh?
Listen, I like to keep my wrestling pure, all right? If you ask me, I like it just between a man and a woman in an apartment, all right? That's all I like. I like head scissors. I like bear hugs. In the middle of it, you move the couch out of the way.
Oh.
You take that coffee table out of the way. I don't want whips. I don't want no brass knuckles. I just want a very in-shape woman and a very out-of-shape man wearing some shorter shorts, maybe his black dress socks on.
Gerald, this is the Global Wrestling Federation. I think you have a different idea of wrestling in your head right now.
Wait a second. Is this what's in the apartment? You go to the back of the After magazines and you see those ads for apartment
But those are just
wrestling.
ads. This is the world of professional wrestling. I think you're thinking of apartment wrestling. This is professional wrestling.
Well, I mean, I think these are very professional women that do this. Clearly, they're getting paid lots of money. I, for one, would very much pay any woman that would come to my apartment in Birmingham, Alabama.
So when you watch these videotapes that you buy in the VCR,
yeah, I buy them. Yeah.
Do some of them tend to have brass knuckles and green spew?
Well, I mean, you pay extra for those. Clearly, but I don't want the hardcore apartment wrestling. You know what I mean? Where it's I'll be right back, and they run to the kitchen and come out with a butcher knife.
That's
or
gross,
like that.
huh?
It's gross. It's not what this business was built on.
Right.
It's built on, again, a man clearly not in the best shape, and a woman who her body is a temple, and she will use that temple to destroy that man. maybe talk a little trash. You're nothing. You're a loser. I like that a little bit too. This Bonnie Blackstone, I would love her to maybe do commentary. I got a wonderful love seat. She could, be perched there.
You don't think she would be great in the videos?
Well, I want a professional wrestler. I'm not just going to have any, ding dong off the street coming in there and disrespecting my business that I love. In closing, let's keep apartment wrestling clean.
Okay, we'll make a T-shirt for you.
Thank you.
All right, we got another one for you.
And from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, watching on WDZL, Channel 39 in Miami, John M. writes, "My biggest peeve with professional wrestling is the many infractions of the rules. Outside interference is the most obvious one. 3 and 4 wrestlers ganging up on one another, using foreign objects such as brass knuckles, metal chains, powders, and other metal objects simply for the sake of winning a match. Referees are paid to referee matches, not to carry on conversations with the managers."
So that was from John M. in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Kind of like we see a theme going on here, but I think the main one is those referees who are constantly getting caught up with those managers, and then we see a different and then we see a different outcome than I think a lot of us. Is this what you're getting at, John?
Yeah, first of all, greetings from Florida, everybody. Hit the Sunshine State. Happy to be on the podcast. Look, when I watch my wrestling matches, I want to see the referees paying attention to the action. The other day I'm watching, and the referee is carrying on with the manager, and I'm like, hey, guys, you got a guy in the ring who's pulling a chain out of his pants, okay? If I'm a referee, first thing I'm going to do, if you're in the ring, I'm checking in your pants. I'm seeing if you got a chain in there.
But the referee probably checked the chain, and now he knows there's no chain, and he has to talk with his manager because he has to get that manager down because he's interfering.
Okay, all right. Maybe I need a partner. Maybe I need a manager of sorts on the outside, and I'll say, okay, you watch
as
that
a referee, or just you as a fan, John?
Well, ultimately my goal is to be a referee. If I'm being honest, if I'm speaking my true heart of hearts right now, I would love to be a referee. And mark my words, I'm not going to let old Mr. Fuji be like, hey, John, I got to talk to you, and I'll be like, Fuji, I can't right now. I'm refereeing a match. I can't do it. And even if he's like, oh, please, it's real juicy news, I need to talk to you. And again, Fuji, not now. I got to referee this match. And, you put me in there, and I could pretty much have, made sure, Ric Flair maybe only won the title once back in the day.
But I like that you were saying that the referee should have a partner.
Yeah.
Tag team referee.
Heck yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Hey, maybe get a mini or something like that. Make it fun,
Well, maybe you can write that in your next letter, John.
Well, I'm penning that one right now.
All right.
And just listen to this. Julia H. of Miami, Florida, watching WDZL, Channel 39, says Arn Anderson is a traitor. To go against blood for friendship is a big no-no. Arn Anderson, you will never be anything, and it's because of your turncoat attitude. Let's face it, you don't even deserve a title. The 4 horsemen keep you around as an enforcer. Your brother Ole got smart. He got tired of being used and got out.
Oh, Julia does not like Arn Anderson. Is that right, Julia?
That is very true. This guy's career is going to go nowhere, okay? He's a bad man, and he cheats, and all he cares about are belts and money. He's clearly not going to go anywhere in this wrestling business.
Do you think maybe his look has something to do with it?
Yeah, also, ew, who wants a hairy chest? Like, I like a very smooth chest, maybe like a Ravishing Rick Rude type, or a Ultimate Warrior type. This Arn Anderson with the furry chest, almost like it's like a rug, like in my bathroom. I have a bathroom rug. When I get out of the shower, I put my feet on it. Every time I put my feet on it, I'm like, man, Arn Anderson is a son of a bitch.
Why'd you stick out? It seems like you'd be okay with the 4 horsemen.
Oh no, I don't like when people have to cheat and have to help each other out and stuff like that. It's like Arn is just a bad dude. He's a bad guy. What do you need to be have all these buddies and turning on everybody and hey, I'll be your friend, Sting, come on over here, and then next thing you know they hurt the guy. It's just not right.
Son of a bitch.
It's not right. Do you order a pizza and then when the guy, oh, here's your pizza. Oh, cool. Hey, what's that over there? And then hit him over the head and take the pizza? You don't do that. Not in my town of Miami, Florida.
You should talk to John M.
I know John. He's a good man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We get together, kind of a neighborhood watch thing. And instead of the neighborhood, all we're talking about is wrestling.
And writing letters.
And they're I said, so Bonnie's going to hear about this one. And I go, not before I write her. Every day. It's like a goof. We're like a sitcom couple trying to put the mail in the mailbox at the same time. We should put them together and save stampage. But,
Stampage.
Stampage.
I like
That's
it.
what you call it.
All right. You guys at home can send your letter to Bonnie Blackstein if you want. Was that right? Bonnie Blackstein?
Blackstone.
Donnie.
You just made her a member of the tribe.
Yeah, Jewish Bonnie Blackstein. You can send a letter and do that right now, and we'll be right back. All right, as I get ready to head over to the Fringe, I'll be sure to bring over my Active 5 because summer is here, the Fringe is here, and everybody wants that summer and or Fringe bod, but it can be hard finding time to work out. I get it. I get it, all right? Well, the folks at Active Body have a solution. It's Active 5, and that's what I'm going to be using in between shows over in Edinburgh. It's a pocket-sized digital device that works with your smartphone to coach you through over 100 5-minute strength training workouts. It even measures your stats and your progress so you can see how jacked you're getting. All Active 5 exercises are isometric-based, and they're tough, but it's only 5 minutes, and it's super effective. I double up. Sometimes I triple up. Sometimes I get in a 15-minute workout. They got airplane workouts. They got office workouts. They got regular workouts, whatever you need. Check it out. Maybe it's for you. Maybe you can use Active 5. Grab one at active5.com. That's ACTIV, the number 5.com. If you enter the promo code COLT at checkout, Active Body will give you a free water bottle. You got 5 minutes, don't you? Help fire up your muscles anytime, anywhere. Enter that code COLT at checkout and join me over at ACTIV, the number 5.com. So that was Global Wrestling Federation. We know it well, but right, they would talk about other wrestling promotions.
Oh, yeah.
As you could see in their letters, they would also, they'll talk about anybody.
They had no problem mentioning other companies and their champions would challenge other champions and things like that. And that was the first part I was like, is this allowed? Yeah. Are you allowed to do this?
Glow Wrestling seems to be a phenomenon these days.
Everyone loves Glow all of a sudden.
Everyone loves Glow, and I don't hate it. Did you watch Glow?
Did I watch Glow? I came to my sexual...
Netflix.
Oh, I thought you meant the old one. I was going to say, I came to my sexual awakening through watching the original Glow. Yeah, I watched it one afternoon, plowed through the whole thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's that, 6 hours?
5. I think there's 10 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well
Piece
done.
of cake. And I was getting bummed out at the end.
Because Colt Cabana wasn't in it and everybody else was?
First of all,
right.
I wanted you in a fro and some socks pulled up real high.
I pictured myself in a cutoff sweatshirt. Like you'd see it, Zubaz in a cutoff sweatshirt, cut off
Yes.
with a loop in the sweatshirt around the neck.
A
right?
deep plunging neckline.
Yes, yeah.
That would be great.
So I plugged up some Glow, and they would do comedy sketches.
They did.
So maybe you can help me on the analysis. I put a bunch of them together.
Okay.
These are like at the end credits, and which is weird because I remember watching Glow, but I don't really remember. I just remember all wrestling I watched as a youth. I just remember people wrestling. So I don't remember fine details. I didn't remember sketches really in these Glow. I just remember girls wrestling.
Oh, I remember a lot of these.
It's very vivid.
Very vivid.
Okay. And speaking of vivid, the other sexual awakening.
Americana says she feels like one of our fighting men. She's built like one of them, too.
Okay, I don't even know if I caught that one.
She's fighting for our men, and she's built like one, too. So they're saying she's built like a man.
Oh.
Just a good burn.
Good burn?
Yeah.
All right.
This to me felt very much like... I remember watching this and feeling like it was like, you can't do that.
I was just going to say you can't do that.
Yeah, very much
That's
so.
exactly what I was going to say. All right, here's another one.
Celestine always takes something before she flies. Air sticks, Val? No, hostages.
Okay. That was a terrorist
That's
joke.
just a good old 80s terrorist joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, because at this time, hostages on planes. I remember, too, there was a video game I bought where you got a gun, and it was there were hostages on planes and stuff. So this was kind of one of those, I think as a little kid, I don't know if I would have gotten that one or not.
I think they could have said anything they wanted to.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I would have been okay with it.
David McLean was just like King Tut's too. Yeah, neither one's been open for years.
That was a Jewish joke, I think. That
Yeah.
His wallet was a tin wallet. All right. And that was the owner, right?
Yeah.
Dave McLean was that guy in the Glow series that was just the producer character.
The producer guy, yeah.
Okay. Now, do you know, so here's an older, bigger lady. And I know Jackie Stallone was also a figure. Do you know who this lady was?
I do not know who that lady is.
Because it's all sexy, beautiful women.
Yes.
And then she's like a large, portly 65-year-old.
But she looks like a performer.
Okay, right.
What do you want now, Kitty?
David, wouldn't you like to take Hollywood to your next barbecue?
Sure. She could keep the flies away from the food. Get out of here.
That was the big joke.
Yeah.
This beautiful woman
I know.
can keep the flies away from
That again, like a little boy Marty's like, I don't get it. Why don't you like her?
Yeah.
Why won't you want to bring her in your room right now? She seems beautiful.
All right, I'd even allow the big one to watch or
I
whatever.
would- yeah,
I wouldn't
sure.
even care. I wouldn't even care.
But I do love that the canned laughter too.
And I think that's why you thought it sounds like
Sure. I think just my brain was just like, oh, this is just like a sitcom that happens to have wrestling.
How about some good old-fashioned racism?
Oh, it's a staple in professional wrestling.
Okay, so before we start this is Ron Trongard, I believe, interviewing Derek Dukes. And before you listen to it, Derek Dukes is an African-American gentleman. And he's one of 3 famous people in Minnesota, according to Chris Rock. Have you ever heard that joke?
No.
There's only 3 famous black dudes in Minnesota.
Prince,
Kirby Puckett, and Derek motherfucking Dukes.
Really?
That's a line.
Holy
Chris Rock.
cow.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Top Gun.
I tell you what, Larry, I'm going to accept that challenge, Colonel DeBeers. One stipulation, Larry. What's the stipulation? If I pin him in 10 minutes, right, I get to paint him black. Paint Colonel DeBeers black? Right. Could you see him going around with a black face, Larry Nelson? No, Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge accepted by Derek Dukes. Paint Colonel DeBeers black. Derek, this is going to be big news all over the world.
Wow, it's going to be big news for a different reason. Yeah. And 30 years later, Ron Trongard.
No, Larry Nelson.
Oh, sorry,
That's
Larry Nelson. Yeah, an older gentleman, all gray hair, gray beard, and this is some kind of, I guess, reverse blackface.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a weird way of like, hey, you're racist, and I'll teach you a lesson by making you put on blackface.
Making you do a thing that you would probably want to do to show your racism.
Yeah, like if Colonel DeBeers was like at a party and got drunk, he'd be like, hey guys, want to see something funny? He would do that. And then Larry Nelson, when he heard about the stipulation, I don't want to say he had an orgasm, but it was almost orgasmic when
Should
he
I
heard.
play it again?
Oh yeah.
Face, Larry Nelson? No.
And he looks like he's turning into a werewolf because he has this big, very big, beautiful head of gray hair and a big gray beard. And when he does that, I feel like he wants to just like rip everything off with one. Like he's got like a DiBiase tuxedo and just rips it all off with one hand, and he's just shirtless.
I like the weird things that make him orgasm.
Oh yeah,
maybe we can tell him some things.
Yeah,
like Larry, your tires are ready at the shop.
Face, Larry Nelson. No.
Mr. Nelson, we delivered that pizza, and it was over 30 minutes. So you're going to get one free.
No.
I've done that before, I think, for other 30-minute pizza. Poor Ron Trongard. Didn't get the credit that he deserved.
No, this is all Larry Nelson here.
All right. And you can we can stop this and play this. This is Terry Funk's debut in the WWF.
Ooh, I've never seen this.
Yeah, I'd never seen it too, but I was kind of curious. I knew he's been known to have some weird vignettes and promos. And
you don't say
some things, so we could just kind of listen to him talk.
Booger, you big, good-looking animal, you. Whoa.
Okay, and he's riding. We'll set the scene. I'd imagine this is Amarillo. This is probably.
I would say he's at the Double Cross Ranch.
Yeah, he's on a horse. He's riding a horse,
decked out in denim. Couldn't have more denim on if you tried.
You know, I rode over to my neighbor's house. I said, hey, how big are Hulk Hogan's arms? He was bragging about Hulk Hogan. He said, they're bigger than yours. I said, well, how big are Jimmy Snuka's arms? He said, they're bigger than yours.
He's holding a little lapel pin, a little lapel microphone.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. So normally if you're watching like a show or something, they'll have the little pin on their tie or something like back in the day or whatever. And it's just a little tiny little black thing. It looked like half of a pen cap or something. But Terry has decided he's just going to hold it like a tiny microphone.
Professional wrestling.
I don't know what you want me to do with this little microphone.
And it's a really far away shot.
Yeah, and it's like coming up from behind his back. He's got like a little pack in his, and it probably tucked into his back pocket, and he's holding it. Like a tiny microphone.
I was going to say, I like that he's just going over to his neighbor's house, just asking people how big people's arms are.
Yeah, or his poor neighbors keep messing with him, like, hey, Terry, boy, Hulk Hogan's got some big arms. Just needed to borrow a shovel. God damn it.
He said, they're bigger than yours. I said, well, how big is Ricky Steamboat's arm? He said, oh, they're a lot bigger than yours, too.
Well, what about his dick?
His neighbor's a real size queen.
I said, well, I want you to know something, neighbor. I have an extra large. An extra large. Maybe not arms, maybe not legs, but I have an extra large. What I have an extra large in is a heart.
I see where you went there, Terry.
Also, this is his debut to the WWF. That shows how long he's been wrestling.
Yeah, also a lot of those guys had enlarged hearts.
Yeah, it's true. Is that he didn't care. Like, he's willing to put a sexual innuendo right in the middle of his debut just to pop Dory.
Yeah.
Hi, Dory.
Yeah. And some Howard Finkel's laughing behind the camera or something.
That's right, I've got an extra large heart, and that's what counts in sports. It's nothing else. So all of those muscles, that makes me hot. And every time I think about it, it makes me hot. It makes me hotter and hotter and hotter. Well, I'm so hot. I'm juicy.
Okay. He's so hot, he's fusey?
Yeah.
Should I play it again?
I think so. I think he said not fusing.
I think he said juicy.
I don't understand. I mean, this is the thing where he's like, clearly thinks like everyone's got the wrestling vernacular down and he's hot. Like, he's angry, right? That's like the old, like, hey, if you're hot, you're mad.
Yeah,
right?
but us.
Like, I'm a kid just being like, what? You're what?
I'm juicy.
He said juicy.
I think he's trying to say furious. And he's trying to
That's
say...
That's a Cabana-ism.
Yeah, he Cabana this one. I think he's trying to say furious and maybe juicy with...
I don't even know what the other one... I'll say it again.
I'm juicy.
And that's just juicy. I see the F coming out of his mind.
I'm juicy.
And as he's doing it, he's trying to get that hocker going.
I'm juicy.
Fushi. He had it ready to roll.
Fushi. That was it. He's like, now this is it. He's coming next week. Here's your next superstar. The guy who gets asked about sizes of the wrestlers, and how hot he is.
This might be one of those when people bitch about like scripted promos. Someone's like, I understand that, but watch this real quick, and then they'll watch it and go, all right, give me the script, and then they'll walk away.
This was this man's day. Like, if you want your debut to be this, then great. You could do whatever you want, Heath Slater. But we're going to write this for you.
Also get I'm Fusey shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/TerryFunk.
Yeah, well, he's on the team. We should have him. And speaking of Terry's good friend, so we can just kind of play this. This is Jerry Lawler singing a song. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of the music video. And this is also this was remixed from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, this is a little Beverly Hills Cop, a little Revenge of the Nerds, a little of everything. Wormser, it looks like, from Revenge of the Nerds, has grown up a little bit, moved to Memphis, and caught the eye of the king.
And so now we cut to Jerry Lawler in a studio with what I can imagine his voice dubbed over like 1,000,000 times. This is the original auto-tune. The hook is wonderful too.
Wrestling with girls. Yeah. It's our apartment guys' theme song.
And we cut back to his outfit, which I know you can't see. This studio is wonderful too. It's just like 1980s.
Oh, yeah.
I'll continue to play it, but just 1980s equipment. There's a rug on the wall. It's these panels that I had in my basement when I was a child. And Lawler was just, I mean, I guess it's cliche to say he was the king back then.
He was the king. This was his town. Probably pulled up in his Corvette. I imagine at this time, Jerry Lawler would be at a stoplight and people would be like, hey, Jerry, you go get him. Go get him, King.
Yeah, we'll be there. Or my friend Jim's coming next week.
I'll be there on Monday. I'll see you there, King. You get that Kamala. You give one to the face for me, King.
He on the podcast, I obviously play a lot of songs of the week, and he's been a couple of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this 3-fall winner-take-all
That's not his voice, is it?
Not what?
Is that his voice?
I think that is his voice, but I don't think the other thing was.
So he was desperate to be a singer.
Yeah.
And never
I think it was one of those things of just like, you just need, because this was the era too, when if you had that novelty song, like he's probably thinking like, I'm going to be the next Weird Al. Like I'll be a wrestler and have a song. Like, come on, this is going to be big.
I think he thought he was the next Bono.
Well, maybe.
In his head. I don't think Weird Al is what he was going for.
It is weird too to think like,
he wanted to be a sex symbol for
sure.
sure.
Like, this is so funny that like, look, this is Sweet Stan singing this song. I'm on board. But Jerry Lawler, especially here with no facial hair, he looks like he reminds me of like a grown-up version. Remember the Cosby Show when Bill Cosby bounced that little chubby kid on his knee? Yeah. That's what Lawler looks like. Lawler looks like a grown-up version of that little chubby kid.
Man, I was talking to a friend and they were like, Lawler never worked out.
I've heard that he's never worked out.
Never worked.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, he did a little bit. He's like, no,
never worked out.
And he looks like a wrestler. He always looked like a wrestler.
Always.
To me. I thought at least like some push-ups. Maybe some jumping jacks.
And he never had that one, like, it's so fun watching, like, old wrestling, and you're like, oh, at least for a little while.
That era?
Somebody
pancakes and
got
cookies?
very big,
Oh,
you know? No, like...
I was thinking the other way around.
Oh, no. But, like, you know, it's just like once in a while you think, like, well, hell, if everyone else is on steroids, let me just try a little bit.
Right.
But, like, you know, guy doesn't drink or anything. Probably he's just like, I don't put that shit in my body.
Now, you probably remember this more than I do. I mean,
Yes.
I remember it happening.
I ordered it.
But, okay, well, let's listen to this promo and we can talk through it if we want.
World has been besieged by the bad. Now, Turner Home Entertainment is putting their foot down as the mighty enforcers of the NWA stand tall for freedom and take aim at the bad guys. Capital Combat 90.
Okay, Capital Combat 90. If you didn't hear those machine
robotic
sounds.
workings. Woot, 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 woot. Those are the sounds you make when you're playing with your toys as a kid.
I think they announced who it is in a second.
With special appearance by RoboCop.
There he is. So RoboCop will come. He'll be at the show. Then they go over the rest of the
See
show.
Ric Flair act as executioner when he defends his world heavyweight title in a death-defying cage match with total package Lex Luger. The Steiners use SWAT team tactics as they strong-arm Doom. Norman and the Road Warriors take on the Tough Guys in a six-man tag team.
So do you know who the Tough Guys were?
I have a feeling it was like, because they showed Mil Mascaris and Cactus Jack, so I assume it was like Buzz Sawyer, Cactus Jack, and Kevin Sullivan.
Tag Team Rumble and the ultimate showdown between good and evil. Sting, accompanied by RoboCop. Watch as they show off their might and mettle in Capital Combat 90. Priced at just $39.98 per cassette.
So cassette.
Yeah. VHS.
Oh, to me it sounds like you could play the tape and listen,
No.
you can listen to the show.
What do you want to listen to? Bruce Springsteen or the Capital Combat 90?
Was that a lot for you? Think that was a lot?
No. I thought for pay-per-view, I'm like, oh wow, that's a lot.
But even $40 for the cassette, no?
Those cassettes used to be like $60.
Yeah, they were expensive.
They were very expensive.
When they first came out, I remember going to the grocery store. They were like $100.
They were real expensive. And remember, you get the big box?
Yeah.
That, like the coffin. It was like a coffin for your VHS
plastic
cassettes.
coffin, yeah.
No.
This
was a rent, not a
wrestling
buy.
event contains the greatest stars in their most grueling events.
So before you make your next move,
Think it over, Creed. Only from Turner Home Entertainment. Capital Combat 90. Buying anything else would be a capital offense.
So I like how they have the real. I feel in WWF it was always like Vince McMahon. Like this is like they paid real. This was a Turner guy. He was in the Turner office, right?
Yeah.
He was doing TBS voiceovers, and he's like, "Hey, Frank, can you get in here and do?"
What do you got for me?
Well, RoboCop's going to be a part of it. He's real excited about
The
it.
movie star.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love RoboCop.
Wait,
yeah.
At first, it's like, "Hey, can you do some wrestling voiceovers?"
Don't you have a Braves game for me or something to call? Maybe the Goodwill games.
Listen, RoboCop's going to be.
Oh, I love RoboCop. Give me that script.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, the heroes of World Championship Wrestling collide. The good guys and the bad guys in RoboCop.
Ooh, I love RoboCop.
Now you've got me. I wonder if anyone was such a RoboCop fan. They're like, I got to order this pay-per-view.
Do you think there's
RoboCop's gonna be there.
non-wrestling? Because so what happened? RoboCop just got involved,
RoboCop came out and they had the Horsemen had locked Sting in a little like shark cage,
which they showed in the clip.
yeah, and RoboCop ripped the door off because he's real.
Yeah, that'd be a good question. If has that ever worked in wrestling? Let's be honest.
Let's see. Chucky didn't work on Nitro.
Like, do you think when Mayweather fought Big Show, people were like,
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like a real person, though.
Oh, okay.
That's a real person.
So we're talking...
We're talking movie characters. I don't think RoboCop worked.
Okay.
I don't think Chucky worked. God, WCW. I don't think... or when they'd have characters, like, from a show. You know what I mean?
Chuck Norris...
Like, when they had Wayne from the Wonder Years, they said his real name. But had they been like... Hey, it's Wayne Arnold from the Wonder Years. It'd be like, no.
What about Chuck Norris, Texas Ranger?
Was he Texas Ranger?
I think
but he's Chuck Norris.
He was the bodyguard throughout Jeff Jarrett, but I agree he was Chuck Norris. But he also was playing Texas Ranger.
He was. It's always weird when someone from a show. Like, I feel like their USA Network had a lot of those little, like...
So that was probably, hey, can you do this? That wasn't like, we're going to get Chuck...
synergy.
We're going to get Texas Ranger. We're going to pay him $150,000.
Oh, my God.
And he's going to get us some big...
Tell all the boys not to shit in his cowboy hat because he's making more money in a night than they're going to make in 3 years. Yeah, I wonder with, like, oh, God, RoboCop and all those, like, just coked up wrestlers were probably just like, oh, I want to get a picture with RoboCop. Like Road Warrior Hawk disappeared with the RoboCop suit for 3 days.
All right, let's play one more.
No matter where you are, with thumb wrestlers, it's just like being in a wrestling ring.
They're just showing the thumb wrestlers and kids playing right now.
Yeah, with their thumbs up the wrestlers' butts.
Wherever you are, it's like real wrestling action. With Junkyard Dog and Bulldog. Thumb wrestle anywhere.
Except...
in the Iron Sheik.
Okay, kids, back to class.
Here comes the Iron Sheik.
Superstars thumb wrestlers, new from LJN.
Iron Sheik comes out with...
Okay, kids, back to class.
With, like, he's... I wouldn't even say the dean, like the security guard of some sort.
Yeah, he's the principal.
He's the principal.
He's the principal.
But he's outside the school, no shirt.
No.
And just no shirt in front of, I'd say, 15, 11-year-old boys.
Yes.
Okay, kids, back to class.
How many times do you think it took him to get that line?
Also, notice his thumbs are up the whole time.
Well, you gotta. That's the thumb wrestlers.
He's promoting the thumb
it's
wrestlers.
subliminal. Like, God, put some wrestlers on those thumbs, Sheik.
God, yeah.
This is the birth of the roided up gut. It's starting here. If you look, if you can't see this at home, obviously, but he's muscular but getting bigger, and it's like starting.
And also, remember, there was a time where he started wearing these weird jean shorts.
Well, that was the figure.
The original John Cena jorts.
Yeah, he had Iranian jorts. He had these weird Iranian jorts.
And I think that's where, because he could hide his cocaine mid-match.
Oh, yeah.
He needed those pockets to hide crack or cocaine or whatever it might be mid-match.
But, I mean, this was, like, beautiful, like, just starting to get real buff belly.
And then it's just like, hey.
And what a bad guy, too. Like, to him just to come out in this commercial, it's like, what a great, like, I don't know. Just is such a weird, like, he's such a fun character to just, hey, kids, get back to class. And all these little, like, USA boys. I was expecting Shane to be in the back of one of the, like, you know, just sitting on the park bench playing with these thumb wrestlers.
He might have been.
Which are very weird. Looking back now, watching them.
The thumb wrestlers?
Yeah.
Or Iron Sheik out of school?
No. Like the thumb wrestlers. Like, I look at them now and I'm just like, wow, that's weird.
Well, they were like, what did you do? What do you do? They're like, hey, let's take a market research. Kid, what do you do? What do you do during recess?
Pull girls' hair and thumb wrestle. That's pretty much it.
Oh, well, okay. So all wrestlers grow your hair long, and we're going to make these thumb wrestlers.
Yeah.
And that was the market research behind the WWF.
Did you like them? Did you ever? I can't even remember. Like, I had them, but I never being like,
I remember
we're going to thumb wrestle.
I thumb wrestled all the time in school.
Really?
That was a thing.
With the wrestlers.
Not with the wrestlers,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying that was a thing that kids did.
Sure.
So, and it's called it's a version of wrestling.
True. Well, now it would be thumb sports entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not. You don't call it that anymore.
All right. Let's take a break, and we'll be back and finish this thing off. Hey, so the flyers this year that I'm going to be passing all around Edinburgh were sponsored by somebody. Usually how it works is it's my flyer on one side and then a company's flyer on the other side. And this year our sponsor was suplexapparel.com. So I want to give them a huge thanks and a huge shout out. If you don't know them, then you're crazy because they are the sponsors. And the gear worn by Finn Balor, Zack Sabre, Matt Riddle, and so many more. They got a new summer range out. Go grab some t-shirts, shorts, or snapbacks. They ship worldwide. It's pro wrestling focused clothing for wrestlers and fans alike. Come to the Fringe. See them on the flyers while I hand you one, or go check them out, suplexapparel.com. And this is the show that Brendan and I are going to be doing all of August in Edinburgh, Scotland. And Marty and I are going to do in Boise, Idaho, September 8th, part of the 208 Comedy Festival. And then, of course, we're going to do it the night before Thanksgiving in Chicago.
A Thanksgiving Eve tradition.
Black Scorpion Wednesday.
Black Scorpion Wednesday. Ooh, I like that.
That's what we'll call it.
Sounds cool.
Marty, you have a wonderful podcast that you do with your podcasting partner, Sarah Joy Shockey.
Yes, I do.
What's it called?
Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. Available on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. At the podcast store.
Yeah.
Down the street. Support your local podcast stores. But yeah.
You don't Instagram? Why don't you Instagram?
She does Instagram for the podcast, Marty Sarah Pod, but I'm just not a big Instagram guy.
You're not into it.
I don't know.
We'll go find you on Twitter at Marty DeRosa.
At Marty DeRosa.
Do you have a verified yet?
No. Can you believe it?
Get you verified?
Can we?
Jesus.
Come on, someone out there.
Anybody out there?
We got these imposters saying they're me.
Really? Is that what's going on?
No. Although I think I sent them a email one time, like the verification account. And I'm like, hey, a lot of people are pretending to be me, and it's really causing me some grief. Can you just verify me?
Martin Rosa.
Yeah.
Marty D.
Yeah. Marty DeRosa. Yeah. And they said no. So let's get me verified. I like that.
They give you the big no.
They give you the big old no.
Sons
get out of here.
All right. Anything else to promote?
No. Just keep watching wrestling. And
he's promoting wrestling.
I'm watching. Of course, that's what I do. I think that's my job. I think we're two guys who go out there and just promote wrestling through our love for wrestling. We love it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take
How
it.
do you not love this?
I love everything about this.
Come on. If I was a kid and I had my VCR recording and that Thumb Wrestler commercial came on, that was getting rewound a whole bunch of times, and I was going to study it and watch it and wish I was those kids. And think like, you know what? Maybe when the next thing comes out, they'll pick my school. Could you even imagine?
I was definitely jealous. Nothing ever came around me for wrestling. Nothing.
Although when you hear about all the old like stuff, it was like there probably wasn't even a school that was like Vince's back porch. Like they used Vince's house for everything, and it's probably just like all Shane's friends.
It was probably a mansion that looks like a school.
No.
He probably owned a school.
Well, the pool house looks like a school. Go use that.
That was probably Vincent Kennedy McMahon Elementary School. I'm sure.
That's what I would love. I just wish I would. Like whenever I'd watch, I wish I was part of everything as a kid watching wrestling.
Well, you're part
and now we are.
Hey, look at that. All right. Before I get out of here, let's get into some plugs and
upcoming events.
ColtMerch.com, digitalcolt.com is the best way that you can support Twitter and Instagram at Colt Cabana, Facebook /AOW Podcast, also /Colt Cabana. My storytelling podcast, Pro Wrestling Fringe, plus past archives of this show, they're available ad-free on StitcherPremium.com/Colt. Use the code Colt, get a free month. ColtWrestling@gmail.com, my very public email. I got a YouTube channel. I got a website, ColtCabana.com. That's where you can send some P.O. Box stuff, and I'll pick it up when I get back from the Fringe. Upcoming Saturday, July 29th, Concord, North Carolina. I'm doing commentary for ROHWrestling.com. Then I'm heading over to Europe. Thursday, August 3rd, Brighton, England, Facebook /Riptide Rest. August 4th through the 27th, every single day except for the 15th, when I'm actually doing a comedy wrestling show, and I'll be wrestling that night. But Brendan and I's show, 10:20 p.m., the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, edfringe.com to reserve tickets. Sunday, August 6th, Mintlaw, Aberdeenshire, Facebook /UPW Online. Saturday, August 19th, reckless-intent.com. Sunday, August 20th, ROHWrestling.com. Going to be on early, then I'm going to head over to my show. Friday, August 25th, BCW-wrestling.com. Saturday, August 26th, SWEonline.co.uk. Sunday, August 27th, InsaneWrestling.co.uk. Thursday, August 31st, when I get back, Berwyn, Illinois, AAWrestling.com. Thursday, September 7th, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Facebook /First Wrestling. Friday, September 8th, Boise, Idaho, 208comedyfest.com. Saturday, September 9th, Rahway, New Jersey, WrestlePro.com. And then Sunday, September 10th, New York City, New York, the Now Hear This Podcast Festival. I'm doing a live podcast along with 2 other wrestling podcasts. And in a couple of weeks, we'll have promo codes for one-day tickets so you can come see the wrestling block of podcasts. But you could also buy a full week with the promo code COLT if you want to check out all the hilarious and amazing podcasts that will be happening at that festival. All right, that is the show for this week. Huge thank you to you guys at home for listening. Of course, thanks to Marty DeRosa for hanging out with me. Cable Guy Jeff and Stu Stone, Kid Russell and Matt Jenkins with music, Dane Miller and Creaky with tech. I'd like to thank some sponsors, highspots.com, a VOD service that's amazing. Hundreds of full-length titles available to download, plus $5 wrestling, AMA knee pads, gear, mask, and a wrestling ring you could buy from them. 1HourTees.com. They help run ProWrestlingCrate.com. They help run ProWrestlingTees.com. That's where you can support your favorite independendent wrestler. And tweakedaudio.com/Colt. The earbuds that I use get over 30% off of free shipping just because you listen to this show. All right, this is week 1 of 2. Hopefully I'll be seeing anyone who's listening in Edinburgh. It's going to be a very fun month. Busy as always. I got a I got a huge lineup. For those of you who don't know about that show I was talking about on August 15th, it's called The Wrestling. YouTube, The Wrestling Comedy Edinburgh. It's been going on for 5 years. Neville was on the very first one that won an award for the best new show, the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Sells out very quick. Get those tickets today. All right, this has been The Art of Wrestling. For Colt Cabana, I'm Colt Cabana. Thanks.